See if I'm even in focus. I should be. So a lot of the problems that I work with when I work with my one-on-one clients in my business is people just don't really know how to enjoy life moment to moment, and even not moment to moment, year to year. That's what it comes down to a lot of the time. They usually have the job that if they were to look back at or look forward from 10 years before, or maybe they have a partner, or whether it's to do with friends, right? All the same concept. But if they were to look forward 10 years into the future, 10 years ago, right? So them 10 years ago, they would actually be pretty okay with it. A lot of them, right? Now, this isn't obviously everyone. To the people where that's not the case, then your problem's a little bit different, right? And obviously in this channel, we're going to be talking about all people from all different walks of life. But this is usually for the person that's kind of living the life that they want to, kind of, right? But obviously, you can always make more money. You can always want to have a better relationship. You can always want to have better friends. You can always want all of this stuff, right? And it's your prerogative to want those things. However, what it comes down to is not being able to enjoy what they have, right? And that problem is never going to be solved by getting the thing that you think you want in your head. Never. So what you can do is you can actually look back and you can see, okay, let's to do something easy, right? When I finally get this job or this promotion, then I'll be happy, right? All of the thoughts that started with that, I want you to go back and revisit them and actually ask yourself, has that been true? And what you're most likely going to find, unless you're just in a permanent state of happiness, is the answer to that question is no. And that's okay, right? That's okay. Now, what that shows us is we have to take that data and that information, right? It's when we ignore it and when we try and push it under the rug, or when we keep on kind of flogging the dead horse. It's an old English saying. I'm not sure if you'll understand it. But basically, if we keep on trying the same thing, right? And not listening to what we've learned, not listening to the data, that's when we run into trouble, right? But if we can recognize that fact, that, hey, goals are great, goals are important, goals should definitely be integrated into whatever I want to do into my life. But at the end of the day, the illusion that this goal is going to make me happy or going to make me feel a certain way about myself is just an illusion. And if you can come to terms with that, if you can come to peace with that, that's actually when life really starts opening up. Because you're no longer living in the future, right? Where you're waiting for something to pay off. You're no longer in that reality. You're in the reality of here and now, right? Now, in case you don't know who I am, I'm Aaron, and I'm a shadow work consultant, right? Which is basically somebody who goes in and helps you heal from the past and what we've learned from the past. So why am I talking about the future, right? Well, because they're linked, and they're linked, but they're different. They require a different kind of frame, at least in the beginning, right? And then time starts to really kind of break down, right? Which is why everyone's talking about, or everyone in this space always talks about living in the moment, right? Without actually explaining what that is, right? And when you are always living in the future, which is the first thing that we just talked about now, it means that you are automatically disowning what's happening right now and seeing the reality of right now. And that reality can be bad, by the way. It doesn't have to be good, Just living in the moment, most of the time it is more pleasurable, but it can also be accepting the moment for what it is, which is maybe a tough time or a hard moment, right? So you have that one aspect. And then the second aspect, like I said, is talking about the past, and I'll talk about how they're linked as well later, which is, well, what happened in the past that has led me to this conclusion? What is it that I'm still holding on to right now, which is not only taking up a lot of my mental energy, but it's making me paint the picture of this moment into something that it's not. So an example, right? It's, let's say you had a really stressful family around money, right? Or your family was really stressed around money growing up, right? And what you took from that experience, the meaning that you took from that experience was finances are always going to be scarce and I have to hold on to them when I have them because that means that that's the only way I can be safe because money comes and goes and it's something that's really hard to get, right? Now, if you have that meaning, then not only is that making you fearful, but it's also impacting your future relationship with money too. Because if you have that belief, then it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how not only is that unuseful for you just to have that belief and have that holding you back, but it's also unuseful because it means that, or not useful, because when you're making decisions right now, it will be informed by that belief and then it will make you make financial decisions from fear. So not only is it affecting the moment, but it also affects the future. Of what I wanted to say in this video is opening up to the idea that the worldview and the way that I view my life and reality right now is not set in stone. And the potential for change can be there. And if the potential for change can be there, then where am I getting stuck right now? What is making for that potential for change just be potential? And then when you ask yourself that question, that will open up your eyes instead of keeping them closed when it comes to identifying what is actually stopping me from enjoying my life right now without getting rid of shadows or traumas, which is great, and without needing to achieve something extra. Can I just enjoy myself right now and the moment for the moment? And I guess it's just a quick kind of rant to help you open up to that possibility too, that we can have all this self-development and we can have all of the self-actualization talks and the meditation retreats and we can plan all these cool trips and crush through financial goals and get a relationship that we like and all of that kind of stuff. And that stuff is great. We're not trying to disown that. Never trying to disown that, right? But before that happens, can I just enjoy myself for who I am right now? Because if the answer to that question is no, you can get all of those things and you will get all of those things and still not be satisfied and still feel like you're not enough, right? And that's what I would encourage you to look at right now in your journey. If you're doing any kind of practice, whether it's a really hardcore practice, whether you're going down the Buddhism route, or maybe you're looking at some mystical Christianity route, or you're just doing some really hardcore therapy with somebody, whatever kind of modality that would be, or whether you're just on your own kind of personal journey growth, right? Is really take the time to be able to answer that question in a way which is truly and deeply authentic to what and who you are, right? And if you answer it in that way, then the only real answer that your intuition would point you to would be, yeah, I can accept myself for that. And if the answer is no, then that's great as well, because you know where to start. That's the real issue here. The illusion is not whether or not you make 20K a month, or you have a girlfriend, or you have your dream job. The real answer is right here. Can you accept yourself for who you are now? Now, I'm not sure how much of this video is actually going to go out, how much I'm going to edit it. I feel like I just wanted to put that out there. That's a big part of the coaching that I do one-on-one with people. But if you can answer that question, or you can even ask yourself that question, that's the direction which is really going to pay off in the long run.